right. Welcome. Welcome to the Run It Back podcast, where we understand that success lives on the other side of hard if you're willing to wake up and run it back. I'm your host, Tony Hampton, alongside my co-host, Reggie Guyton. What's up, Guyton?
My man.
Today's guest is one of the most complete and under-the-radar two-way guards in the college game today. Hailing from Arizona, he made his mark early as a high school standout, earning all-conference honors, recognition at the Pangos All-American Festival, and a McDonald's All-American nomination while competing on a nationally ranked stage for Arizona Compass. He took the momentum he generated here and got a scholarship to Rice University, where he wasted no time making an impact, earning multiple Conference USA Freshman of the Week honors, emerging as one of the team's leading scorers, and establishing himself as one of the top perimeter shooters in the conference. His performance opened many doors to the highest levels of college basketball, continuing his journey in major conferences with stops at University of Washington and most recently Wake Forest in the ACC, proving his ability to compete, adapt, and produce at every level. A dynamic scorer, a tenacious defender, and the definition of a 3-and-D playmaker. Today, we welcome Mekhi Mason to the Run It Back podcast. How you like that intro, Mekhi?
I ain't gonna lie, I like that. I like that.
You better like that, man. You better like that, man. Welcome, man. Welcome. We're glad to have you on it. We're Guyton and I have been excited about this, talking about this for, the last few weeks. So we're really excited to spend some time with you. We kind of want to start like we do a lot of times with our show, is at the beginning for you. And really, I'm always curious, and I know Reggie is too, about how did your basketball journey get started? Where did that begin for you? Who ignited that for you? Kind of walk us through how that journey began for you.
Yeah, so growing up, I have two older brothers and a sister. So all of them played basketball. Like my two older brothers played I think just in high school. But my older sister, that's the one I'm really close with her. We're like 3 years apart in age. So me and her used to always just grow up competing, playing basketball. She would always play up against the boys, you know what I mean? And my dad would always have me, play up with her. So just my dad getting my sister involved in basketball is what ultimately
Yeah.
led me to, play it.
Yeah. What do you remember where, because it's one thing to play it, right? And there's another thing when you kind of fall in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember where you kind of fell in love with the game? Like, man, this is something. Because I know you played many other sports, right? Your dad had you playing many other sports. But was there a moment where you said, man, I think I want to do this all the time?
Yeah, I feel like me for my age growing up, I was just better than a lot of kids. And when you're pretty good at something, it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just better than the other kids, so I felt like it was just me wanting to get better and just keep growing as a player. But yeah, being good at a young age just kind of helps you more like fall in love with it and really just see where it takes you.
Yeah. So it came kind of easy to you
Yeah.
as well,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So when you think about, now you've discovered this game, you're enjoying it, competing against your sister all these years, and now you're kind of making your own path. Who'd you kind of model your game after? I mean, was there somebody you kind of modeled your game after? And if so, give Reggie and I an idea as to why.
Nah, yeah. So my dad, he's from Chicago. Yeah, you probably know that. He's from Chicago, so he was a big Bulls fan. So I always grew up watching Derrick Rose. He was one of my favorite players
Okay. Yeah.
ever growing up. I'm not saying I modeled my game after him. If I had to say like a player like I actually like broke down their film and watched, it's probably either Bradley Beal or Devin Booker.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I like those two. But now my dad's a big Chicago Bulls fan from Chicago, so he had me watching the Bulls like with Joe King, Nola, like all them guys, CJ Watson, all them guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, Derrick Rose, from a competitive standpoint, you can't beat that as a model to have. And then
Mhm.
definitely, with Beal, in terms of your size and his size, it's comparable. I think you're probably even a little bit bigger than Beal. So
Uh-huh.
you pick
So
some
what
white
about
ballers.
just tell me what I'm curious, man, is all those ballers that come out of Arizona, man, specifically that Phoenix area, maybe some of the Tucson area, but that Tempe, Gilbert, Phoenix area, man, there's a lot of ballers, man. I mean,
Mhm.
what was it like growing up in that environment?
Yeah, there's a lot of underrated players that, I feel like we've always had good players, but we're just getting the recognition now. But just growing up, it's always competitive. Like, you have so many guys that came out of Arizona already. Like,
Yeah,
J Dub playing on Thunder, you got Dalen, you got Ty Ty, you got all these guys. And I feel like it was always like looking up to them as older guys. It was kind of cool seeing what they could do and just having it be like full circle, seeing what they're doing, and then me playing at like a higher level. It was cool, honestly. Like, I feel like Arizona's not super big either. I feel like the basketball world is small, everybody knows everybody. So
right.
everyone played on similar AAU teams, you know what I mean? But it started really getting competitive like the past few years, and Arizona's finally getting some recognition they deserve. For real.
Yeah, I think the last 15 or 20 years, Guyton, it's just really kind of taken off. I mean,
Mm.
Koa Pete,
Yep.
at U of A,
Yep.
you got the Williams brothers as well, who went to Perry, and way back in the day, Mike Bibby, even Fat Lever,
Maybe.
way back
Yeah.
in the day. I mean, so it's got when you start looking at it, it's got a ton of talent that's come from Marvin Bagley
Yeah.
from this area, just DeAndre Ayton. So
Yeah.
just a ton of talent, lottery picks that have come from this area. Go ahead, Guyton.
Well, it just lets you know that when you can see that, Makai, it pretty much lets you know that your dream can become a reality. It's something that you can reach out and touch. Not a lot of people are in that environment where they could see guys ascend to the highest level and and say like, man, I could be like that dude, right? That dude, I just saw him at the store. I was just in
Exactly.
the gym with him. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Literally.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
did that shape you, right? When you've been competing against your sister, and then you start going on your own path. Now you're out and about, and you're seeing all this talent, and maybe you're recognizing that maybe I'm not the best now because I'm competing up,
Yeah.
right? So how did seeing some of that talent you're competing? How did that begin to shape you in terms of your mental and your game?
It had me have a different lens for the game because seeing people that are older than you, seeing what they go through, seeing what things they struggle with, you kind of pick up on things. Like being younger and have so many like older role models, you get to kind of get the best of all of them in a way. Like you take a little bit from this person, a little bit from that person. Like all the guys that we just talked about, like they've all been like mentors for me in Arizona. So they have me come work out, with them, or you have play pickup with them. You just start to see things that I
Yeah,
felt like if I was in a different position or like maybe like the same age group, it wouldn't hit the same. But
yeah.
me being younger, I got to learn a lot and see like, okay, he does this well, he does that well, and just nitpick and take things that I like from the game.
Talk about the impact that Dalen Terry had on you, right? I mean, I think that's a person that's obviously close to the family.
Mhm.
Played ball here as well, and then went on U of A and was a top draft pick for Chicago, and now with Philadelphia. So talk about that relationship and how because I think he's just a couple years older than you,
Yeah, yeah, he's about like three, two,
three
two,
years,
3 years from me.
three
Yeah,
years older than you. Yeah,
yeah, but growing, yeah, with me and him, and my sister, like we all grew up together. Like I got to see him all the way from as a kid all the way to where he is now. He's been honestly like a big leader and like role model for me. Like he showed me like, yeah, you can do it too. Like I can call him, hit him up whenever I want, ask him questions. And I just got to see how he did it, and he let me know like, oh, it's possible. Like you could do this too. He like seeing the NBA level and seeing what he's doing. It's just cool being able to have like some inside info about the
yeah,
stuff. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
but nah, he's been a great role model for me for
yeah.
real.
Having that blueprint, like Reggie was
Yeah,
talking about
blueprint.
earlier, is
I'm
huge.
I'm curious, man. Tell me a little bit about your high school journey, man, and ultimately how'd you end up at the decision to transfer in the Arizona Compass?
Oh yeah, my high school journey, it was low-key crazy. A lot of people probably don't know, but like freshman year I came in, went to Chandler High School. Uh Started off playing, like I made varsity, but I didn't really play that much. So I just go down to JV, play a little bit. So I didn't really get that much time on varsity. So I got to had to got was able to work on my game, like, at the JV level. Then after that, sophomore year, I was there for one more year. So sophomore year, I actually started on varsity, got to learn from last year. Then after that, I was like, all right, what's the next step? Like it would have been cool to stay, public school, but I think it was like around COVID too, like around that same
Yeah, it was, I
time.
believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So me and my family just thought it'd be best, like, all right, if you want to take it to another level, why not go play with the best guys? And that's where prep school was at, playing the Montbirds, the IMGs. Like,
Hmm.
why wouldn't you want to compete against the guys that are going to be playing against them and then possibly play against them too? So that's how I ended up at Compass. Then junior year, after that, just I didn't really play that much junior year either. But then I got to same thing like I did at Chandler. I got to learn a little bit. Then senior year played, had a great year, and then yeah, got to college.
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up, playing against that level of competition day in, day out. Not only were you playing at a prep school, but you were at an elite program. I mean, you guys are one of the top ranked teams in the country. Tell me a little bit about that experience.
It was cool. Yeah, I think we were ranked number one for a little bit
Yep.
too. Yeah. So now that experience was cool. Like I said, playing all those big time schools you always hear about, like Montverde, IMG. Who else we play? Sunrise Christian. So it was really fun. Like junior year, I was kind of like, you know, eighth man off the bench,
Hmm.
but just I got so much better just playing, even in the practices with the guys. Like, everybody at a prep school was going high major or mid major, so I was able to learn and grow my game tremendously just from that junior year, just competing with them.
You just said the word I want to talk about. You said you were able to learn. What did you gain from that, man? What was that experience like? What did you learn by competing at that level against, let's be real, future NBA guys?
So I learned there's a different level. There's a different level. I learned. I found that out. It was crazy. I forgot what game it was. I think we were playing Paulo Banchero. It was like first play of the game. He ripped baseline, like monkey dunk on the rim. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay, it's a different level. But nah, yeah, I got to learn. I got to learn that there's so much more I need to get better at, and I feel like if I didn't go to Compass, I wouldn't be the player I am. Shout out Coach Gibb too. Like he was really on me, like about uh getting better, and he saw the potential in me. So I learned a whole lot about not just basketball, just the mental part too, just what it takes to play at that level.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's transition, man, from there to Rice. I mean, just that transition from being a high school senior to being an incoming freshman. Tell us a little bit about that.
So yeah, coming from Compass, I feel like I had a big head start in front of like some of the freshmen I came in with. I feel like Compass like actually prepared me, just the type of practices and the speed and the like hard work it takes. So yeah, freshman year I came in, started every single game, played over 30 minutes a game. So I was really able to gain in-game experience, and that was another reason why I committed to Rice too, because I was going to be able to play. And what's the best teacher is experience. So I
Yep.
was able to get on the floor and learn actually doing instead of just watching.
You
Go
had
ahead,
you
Aaron.
had you had about I mean I think you had the most freshman of the week honors that year. I think you had four of them.
Yeah.
So you kind of came in on fire, and I like how you talked about the setup there was at Arizona Compass, and when you got there, you felt like you had an advantage, maybe even mentally as well as physically,
Mhm.
being able to take that leap after playing at Arizona Compass. So talk about physically, because normally what they talk about is when you go from high school to D1, there's a lot of players who don't make it. in terms of finishing out their college career because the change is just too difficult. It's too physical. The structure, the demands, the criticism can be constructive, but you're going to get it. So how did that? How do you feel like you were ready for that when you got to a college level right away?
Yeah, I feel like the biggest adjustment was like the speed. I say it was a little bit faster, and the 3-point line's a little bit further. That wasn't too bad. Just get up some extra shots. But I feel like I was able to adapt because of the prep school. But the biggest thing was just body wise. Like I didn't lift as much in high school as I did in college. You lifting dang near every day. Like you got summer workouts, you're gonna have individual workouts, things like that. So I feel like a lot of people, it's like it's shell shock to them if you didn't kind of prepare or come from somewhere where you like weren't the guy or you were at a prep school or just came from public school. Sometimes it's shell shock, but most players do figure it out, but it's just a different type of demand on your body and your mental, just, having that structure of having to wake up 7 a.m., wake up, got practice, like all of that. So it's just a different type of schedule. But after a few weeks, most people get adjusted to it. But yeah, like you said, some people do fall out.
Yeah,
Right.
having gone through that, right, and that transition, that bridge from high school to a D1 level. If you were mentoring somebody that's a junior or a senior in high school, getting ready to make that leap, what counsel would you give them in terms of preparing them to be able to successfully make that transition? Because I'm sure there's some people in our audience who are playing high school ball who aspire to take it to the D1 level.
Yeah, I say just be a sponge. Like listen and always find success in the details, like just little stuff, not just basketball, but like in everything you do. Like small details matter. And I'll use an example. Like one day in practice, someone messes up a drill. Like you gotta watch and learn from the person in front of you and just pick stuff up a little quicker, and then that will help you in the long run. Just focus on small little details because I ain't gonna lie, college coaches they be on it. Like they don't got time to waste. So if you're a freshman picking up stuff fast, like
Right.
you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
they'll really appreciate that. And they'll most likely get you on the floor.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good counsel. Another thing I would add to that is don't take things too personal, right?
Hmm.
Because they're going to be on you, and you got to take that feedback as constructive. Because a lot of times your good coaches, they're on you because they see something there they want to get out of you. Keep that in mind as you're going through that process and transition. Go ahead, Guyton.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, those are good points in terms of the adjustments and advice you would give someone with respect to on the court, right? Uh, Speed, strength, conditioning, pay attention to details, etc. What about some of the stuff off the court? I mean that was the
Yeah.
biggest challenge when I was there, just stuff off
No,
the
you're
court,
right.
and
You're
they've
right.
thrown on another layer with you guys with NIL. So what would you tell somebody regarding those things off the court and NIL?
Man, I say use your resources. Like most schools got tutors for you. You got people that can help you, or like they have a whole, at least the programs I've been, they have a whole like community behind you that like which are trying to help you and don't want you to fail. So I would just say make sure you use your resources. And as far as NIL, just be smart with your money. Like have people around you that have the best interest for you when it comes to all that. Like don't be stupid, spend it. You hear stories about people blowing their money all the time. So if you are getting
Yeah.
NIL, you just got to be smart with it and know the right things to do with you, but really just have a support system that is looking out for your best interest.
Having that NIL money, that kind of is a different deal there, right? And all the options that are there for you and the freedom that's there for you
Mm.
can be a challenge. But I think your idea around managing that piece is and getting people around you in the right circle around you to help you manage it is really important going through that process.
No, that's great advice. Mekhi, just continue to mentor folks, just like those have mentored you. And in fact, have you had many mentors that have helped you throughout this process?
Yeah, especially at least like I'll just say like my trainer coach Mo, he's been helping me a lot too, but I got my dad, I got my mom, I got Dalen like we've talked about too, but I've also had a lot of mentors for basketball too, like coming in as a freshman, like senior Quincy Oliveri. I think he's on the G League with the Pistons or yeah. So
Mhm.
he was a good mentor for me too, just showing me how things are done, how to adjust. Like I said, he was working with me and wanted the best for me. So he helped me a lot too, just getting to where I am today.
Yeah, yeah.
Talk about that because Guy brings up a good point about the NIL and the challenges of dealing with that. But then also you got the transfer portal, right?
Hmm.
You're at Rice. You get off to a really good start. You have even a better sophomore year. I think you were second leading scorer, shot 37% from three. So just really on a roll there. And then, opportunities come knocking in the Big 12 with University of Washington, and then eventually Wake Forest. Talk about that evaluation process of that whole transfer portal and how you reached that decision to make a move from an area that you were already having a lot of success in, but it seems like in your career you're always looking for that next challenge. So kind of talk about that transition.
Yeah, the transfer portal is like glorified high school. Like you got coaches calling you, text
Right.
you, like trying to figure out like, oh, do you want to come to this program? But nah, it's a long process. But I feel like being in the transfer portal, like even no matter what grade you're in, you kind of know what a program looks like instead of just coming from, high school, not knowing what college is like. So you kind of have an idea of how college is. So I feel like you have a better perspective on what you're looking for, at least for the most part, and what you want to do. Like if you didn't play, all right, I want to play at this school, or okay, this team does this. I want to go to a program that does this. So I feel like you have a better perspective on having that college experience already. So for me, I was just looking for, like you said, things that are gonna help me get better. So I came from a mid-major Rice. I wanted to play high major. Then okay, I played Big Ten. I wanted to play ACC. Like they play a little faster. So
Yeah.
just all looking for that next step was at least what I did, and just took the time and really just narrow down my options to
Hmm.
make the best decision.
What made you so good at adapting? I
Mm.
mean, that's another difference. You got NIL, you got transfer portal, but also you've got a lot of a change that you got to be able to manage, right? And you're going into a new conference, you go a new coach, and you got new teammates. I mean, how did you figure out how to just be able to successfully integrate yourself into these new programs? Because that's a skill set within it itself, to being able to adapt and change, and you're moving to a higher level, not a lower level, a higher level.
Yeah, like I give the same advice that I would give to, high school kids. Be a sponge. Like just like I always say, like literally success is in the details. So I had to learn how to listen more and, you know, talk to coaches more and just be a sponge and like not being being I don't know what the word is, but you literally just have to want to learn and want to
Hmm.
become a better player. Because if you want to exceed, you're gonna have to have different offices that you have to learn, have different defenses. So I try to just watch a lot of film
Yeah.
and try to adjust to it.
Yeah, no, that's big because the conferences you went to are, and Reggie and I were talking about this earlier. These are top five conferences that we call power conferences, right? So you went to two out of the five biggest ones, in terms of the Big 12 and then also ACC, and you had your best 3-point percentage shooting when you made that jump to the Big 12 in a much tougher a conference. So, just overall, in general, what was the biggest difference going from Conference USA now to a Power Five conference? Did that weigh on you that much, or did you feel like you easily were able to make that transition?
I feel like it didn't weigh on me too much.
Uh-huh.
I feel like playing at a Power Five conference, you kind of play with some better players. So, you know, it's a little bit easier for me to get my shots because I got, you know, you got a
Yeah.
kid coming from all over, you know what I mean? And you got higher level of players playing. So it kind of makes the game open up a little easier for you.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that UW experience, man, because I know you had a little bit of a challenge there. I know that there was a time that you had dipped, that you started out starting, then you weren't starting, then you bounced back. Tell us a little bit about that experience and what you may have learned from going through that.
That was kind of tough, you know. Like I said, like you just said, going from starting to not starting, but I honestly learned a lot about myself. I learned that no matter what, you got to trust your work. You got to be confident. So I honestly just kept my head down and just kept working. And the results didn't show at the beginning of the year, but I feel like the more I kept doing what I normally do, you know, stay consistent, kept getting extra shots up before, after practice, I was able to get out of that quote unquote slump. But I was really doing the same thing the whole time, maybe even going a little harder. But it's just that consistency of putting in that work is what helped me get over the hump and finish strong like I did.
I mean, you ended up shooting what, 40%?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
from
should have been
three.
it should have been 40, 42, but I missed the should have been 42, but
Yeah, you shot the lights out that year, man. And then you finished up really, really strong, right? I mean, which a lot of people don't know is that college season is not as long as the NBA, obviously, but it is a grueling season and it's a lot more physical. So it says a lot for you to even get stronger as the year went on, and to maintain a high clip of what you were shooting from the 3 point line, says a lot about your shooting and your skill set. But then you make the transition to Wake Forest and the ACC. What was that experience like? Probably one. Obviously, a lot of consider that the top conference, in the country. Even though Michigan won it this year, but what are your thoughts about that?
nah, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. This is a athletic conference. Like compared to where I came from, there wasn't as many like athletic guys. You'll have your like Cohen cars, like rare here, bouncy guys. But I feel like in the ACC, it's just faster. Like at least the way we wanted to play at Wake Forest, like we wanted to play fast, push the ball. Uh, it's just different. Like they're really skilled guys. Like a lot of skilled guards. There's not one night where you don't have 2 to 3 guards trying to, you know, get to it, get there is averaging, you know, over 15, 16 points a game. So I feel like there was no really off night. Like it's really a guards league.
Yeah,
Like you look at the good teams you have here and there, you got your, you know, Boozer and some other guys like Malik uh from Miami, but rarely it's a guards league. So there's a lot of great skilled guards in this conference.
In fact, I'm glad you brought that up, man, because I think the one thing that's been consistent throughout your career has been your ability to play defense, and you've excelled at every program that you've been at. What gives you a defensive advantage of guarding those guys? I mean, the games that I watch, you were always guarding that guy, that guard. Um, what do you think gives you an advantage there?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a bigger guard, you know, got longer arms, got, you know, good build, like 6'4", 6'5" ish. So I feel like that too. And what kind of got me in the mentality, shout out Coach Pear from Rice. He always freshman year, he always had me guard the best players. Like every single game, had me guard the best players. So that kind of instilled my mind about the importance of defense. So I really kind of just tried to carry that along in my game, even when my offense wasn't going as well. So I really learned how to, you know, learn people's tendencies. You know, does he like to spin when he goes left? Does he like triple pull ups? So just, you know, learning the game and, you know, breaking down film on players.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think you are. A true definition of a 3 and D guy, right? Rarely you have players that are locked in defensively who also have the ability to be able to shoot at a high clip as well. So I think that's a unique advantage to have. But on a defensive tip, it's a mindset, right? It's just not all physical skills. You got to have a mindset and a stamina to be able to take that challenge on. Because I saw you guard. What's the one guard from Stanford, Ibuka,
Yeah,
right? You know, who averaged about 20 plus a game, and he's got the ball in his hands all the time. So to be able to guard at a high clip and to be able to shoot it at a high clip is a unique skill set and a differentiator, especially for a conference such as the ACC. I do want to ask you a question about Michigan, though, because I think back to that. Like, I mean, that game. I watched that game. Obviously, it went into overtime. On the road, hostile environment. I think that might have been your third or fourth game, and you had a really big game. I mean, you had 16 or 18 points that game, and you guys end up going to overtime. What was that experience like? And then now looking back and seeing that they won the national championship, talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, me and my teammates joked. We said we was 1 point away from being national champions. But nah, it was a cool experience, playing against them. Just it was basically like a home game for them. We played them, I think, at Little Caesars Arena. So the environment was crazy though. Like it was a close game the whole way, and you just felt the energy change. Them basically having the whole crowd. But yeah, they were a good team. I feel like that was just the beginning of our season. I feel like we had a lot to build on after that game. Like we had an overtime. We probably honestly should have beat them, but it was a close game. But the environment was crazy though. A
Yeah,
lot of guys hit big shots, and
yeah,
then to see them go in the national championship is crazy. When we was literally just playing them, but shout out to those guys, they deserve it. But it does sting a little.
yeah, yeah. It should have went to overtime. I thought you guys were going to get it closed out in regulation, but at least you took a national championship down to the wire there. So that's really good. So kind of talk to us about what you see is your goals now going forward, right? I mean, you've gone 4 years, played at the biggest conferences you can play at, finished your career at Wake Forest. What now is the next step as you see it?
Yeah, so my goal is the NBA. So, I got to go through this draft process, just doing pre-draft workouts, just figuring out if I can, get some workouts with some teams and then showing them what I can do. And then as long as I get the opportunity, I can, do what I do with that, and
Yeah,
then just go from there.
yeah.
So
What's
what are you doing now to prepare?
Yeah, so I've been trying to run a lot. Been trying to work out with some of the coaches, but honestly, just trying to get in condition because I've heard a lot from like guys like Dalen and Quincy that there's a lot of running involved in some pre-draft workout stuff and the workouts with NBA teams. So I've been trying to run a few miles a day and then just keep my body in shape because the biggest thing is conditioning. So I feel like that aspect will, help me perform better in workouts and when I have the opportunity to, show my game.
What do you think is the strongest part of your game?
Honestly, I feel like I just have an overall game. I feel like if you need me to guard your best player, I can do it. Shooting's obviously been one of my strengths, and I
Hmm.
feel like I've proved that through the 4 years. But I feel like I have a little bit of everything. I feel like my playmaking's a little bit underrated, but I feel like I'm just like versatile. I'm like a Swiss Army knife, like they say. But but yeah, I could shoot a little bit, dribble a little bit, but I just try to been trying to pride myself on defense. So
Okay.
become that lockup defender that can also open and hit open knockdown three. So
Okay. Okay.
And I would say that your playmaking skills, you just haven't been put in a position where you've been asked to do that,
mhm.
right? I mean, you pretty much have been relegated to doing other things, to being the sniper that you are. And, you do those things extremely well. So, but you definitely exhibit to me good decision making and ability to make plays off the bounce, without a doubt.
Yeah. When you think about it, though, Makai, if you what is a NBA franchise or a professional franchise probably hasn't recognized your game, hasn't recognize about your game through film that you know you have the ability to do at a high clip?
I'll say that playmaking part. I feel like I'm good at pick and rolls. Like I'm good at reading, strong side help, weak side help, guy who's tagging, being able to play on ball more. I feel like the roles that I've been put in at the past few schools I'm at is to be a shooter, which I can do well, I'll adjust to any role, but I feel like my playmaking is a little bit underrated, but I feel like I have a good feel for the game and ball screen, can make good reads out of the coverage defense gives.
Yeah, and then obviously we talk a lot about your strengths, but what do you think are one of your opportunities that you're trying to make sure you kind of tighten up or improve on a little bit? Is there a certain area that you're working out with your team in terms of this is an area that I still want to tighten up over the next couple months?
Yeah, I'll probably say my finishing. I feel like I get there, like I get to the rim, but just using my athleticism, like in playing through contact at the rim and finishing. Because, like I said, I've been a shooter, like for the past few years now. So just getting back that downhill mentality and attacking the rim first, and you know playing on 2 feet defense in there, playing through like ball screens and attacking the rim. So I'd say my finishing is probably something I got to touch upon. But other than that, yeah, probably a little bit of ball handling. But
Mm-hmm.
I'd say my finishing needs probably the most touch up. But we can always work on that, which I am.
Well, I was telling Reggie that I think you have the physical skills of a pro, the physical attributes of a pro. Your position, if it's a two position, is you're above that 6'5", 200 pounds. I've just said you got long arms, you can shoot it, and you lock up defensively. So I think there's some things that you bring to the table that have an intriguing value proposition for a lot of different franchises. And so it's going to help to get some extra looks and some intimate workouts, with the different teams, so they can see some of the skills that maybe you weren't able to reveal because of the role you're playing. Right. I think that will be helpful going forward.
Nah, just give me a general idea of what your calendar looks like over the next 30 to 60 days.
Yeah, so got to finish up school first. So I think I got about like 2 weeks, week and a half. I got some finals finishing up after that. Then probably the next step is to meet with my agent, find out where the workouts are going to be for like the pre-draft workouts. So, he has his clients and then we work out wherever he says. So go through that and then get ready for these NBA workouts. I get some workouts. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, go from there and figure it out, man.
Well, I'm gonna speak it into existence, man. I just want to know because I know that you and your dad have always gone down to the Las Vegas Summer League, man,
Always,
and
yeah.
so just tell me what type of feeling you're gonna have when he's down there watching you in
Mm.
Vegas.
For real. It's a full circle moment. I'm telling you, I almost every year we go. Got a picture with Dame, got a picture with all the guys. I'm telling you, it's gonna be surreal. He's gonna be, man. I can't even imagine it, but I'm just, that's what's gonna happen. I know it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna
yeah.
be there too, watching that guy.
I know you
Guy,
gonna
you
be there.
guy, you got to come down too, huh? We all got to be down there and check that out. That'll be that's it's because it's been a great journey just to watch your entire journey from high school to playing for a nationally ranked Arizona Compass team to getting a scholarship at University of Rice and then going on and playing at some 2 Power 5 conferences. So it's just been a great journey that you had. Congratulations on your success. I think people don't realize how difficult it is to transition from high school to play at a D1 level. It's in the low percentages that you'll be able to do that. So you've made that happen. Now you're trying to get to the tip of the pyramid, which is the next step, which is an NBA level or professional level somewhere else. So I think you got the physical attributes to make it happen. I've always said that, been consistent with it. Now, like Guyton was talking about, you just got to put in the work to get to that point where you can put all that stuff on display and make it happen.
There you go.
All right, Mekhi, thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for being on Run It Back, big fella.
Sure, appreciate
I
you guys.
appreciate you, man.